What is up, besties? It is your host, Zoe, and I'm back with another freaking episode on the Did I Overshare podcast today. How have you guys been? I love talking to you guys sitting down. It is almost Christmas. Well, we're like 6 days away. I don't know the math. I didn't count, but I'm going to assume because it's literally next week. But I hope you guys are so far having a great December. I am. And honestly, this month has just been full of blessings, and I hope yours has been too. And if not, I hope it gets better. But today's episode is why I post intentionally. Because I have asked you guys many times before. I was like, oh, do you guys like care that I don't post on like a schedule? And everybody said no. I'm gonna be so honest. Everybody said they didn't care that I didn't post on a schedule, right? Because most people watch kind of freely as they want anyway, and then like what they want to watch at the time. But I'm going to explain why today, because I know it might seem a little unconventional, especially in today's age. I feel like every single time I go on social media or TikTok or somewhere, and somebody's trying to give content advice to people, it's like, you need to post every day. You need to post every day because you're going to get seen more. You need to do this no matter what, tired, sad, whatever the fuck. You need to post. I don't agree with that at all. Personally, that's me. And that's how I navigate my content, right? Now, for my personal TikTok, I do tend to post very frequently on there. I'd say like at least 5 out of 7 days a week. Just because I do normal everyday stuff and that's what I post. So I can stay on top of that. For my podcast, though, I like to be extremely intentional with my podcast, if that makes sense. I don't like putting myself in a spot where I feel like I'm forced to make content, because in my head, my podcast is my baby. I love my podcast. It helps me. It helps everyone around me. It helps you guys. I love my podcast wholeheartedly. And I would never want to get up here on a day where I don't feel motivated to talk, where I feel like I'm forcing myself to say something after I just looked up everything. It's not even coming from the heart. I would never force myself to post content in that way. I wouldn't. Just because I feel like since I am a self-help podcast, it needs to be self-help, right? And like I said, my podcast helps you guys, but it also helps me. If I feel like I'm getting nothing out of this and this is just forced, then why am I doing it anyway, right? This is my dream. I love my podcast. I put every single thing into it, but it's like I'm not going to put out content I don't like. I'm not. And I know that might seem, especially they're like, oh, if you want to work with brands, if you want to do this, you need to post consistently. Brands need to see consistency. I am consistent. I have never abandoned my podcast once. But I post with intention. So it's not at the same time weekly. Now, I've never been like 3 weeks. It's usually like every other week. But honestly, I might post twice a week. It's simply if I feel like talking. Because if I feel like what I say is going to make a difference, then I want to talk about it. Right? And that's what I'm going to do. And that's what I'm going to strive to do always. Because I just feel like that will benefit everybody the most. If that makes sense. And getting into the deeper part of it. So why I feel like everybody does say, if you want anything big, if you want this to be your full-time job, if you want this, you have to do it the cookie cutter way. You have to follow the rules. You have to do this, you have to do this, you have to post like 5 times a day so people see you, and consistently you have to match the algorithm and so many different things. I don't think that's true. I don't. Because I think if you are intentional, the right people will find you. Brands will find you. People who want to hear you, listen to you, and, see what you're about, they will find you and they will hear you. And I think that, so if you are on this journey of trying to start a podcast, because I do have a lot of people actually text me and they're like, oh, hey, how'd you start your podcast? I would love to get into it more in depth. So if you guys want an episode on that, let me know. Okay? But I just feel like that is a whole bunch of hullabaloo, okay? Like, there's no rules to this. And people always make it seem like there are rules to content. There's not at all. And I feel like when I'm watching other people's content, I can kind of tell when it is scheduled, when it's forced, when it's not meant to be. Like, it's not genuine. You don't seem happy. You don't, there's no spark there. I don't feel a connection with you, right? And I hope you guys feel a connection with me when I am talking to you, because I never want to force myself to show up, right? I feel like that's unfair to myself in a way. And I think I always was hard on myself about it, because it's like I kind of talk to myself. I'm like, if I'm not showing up, clearly I don't want it that bad. I don't want it that bad. I'm not a hard worker. I'm not grinding. I'm not doing this. No, I am. I'm just also choosing peace and mental clarity at the same time, because like I said, this is a self-help podcast. If I'm not helping myself, then who am I really helping? You know? And I just don't know. I really felt inspired to make this video today, because I honestly, in a way, I kind of wanted to explain myself, because I didn't know if some people do watch my podcast, like listen to my podcast, and they're like, oh, why is she not consistent? Because a lot of the podcasters I listen to, it's like, oh, new episodes every Monday, or new episodes this, that, the other. I can't. It's just like, when something is so deep to me, and when I love something so much, I never want to be phony, if that makes sense. And okay, wait, hold on. As a talker, forcing myself to talk will never work. Never. Like, if I have to make scheduled content, right, and I have to look up, a topic or something like that, it's not genuine, in my opinion, because why do I have to research something, and why is it not coming off the dome? Now, granted, researching some stuff for outside purposes, 100%, yes, we always want to hear different perspectives and learn, gather insight, and that is what I do. But a lot of the times, I like speaking from my heart. I like speaking what's heavy on my mind right now. What do I want to talk about? What do I want to engage in with you guys, and want you guys to learn? Because I also feel like I'm a very spiritual person. Okay, I'm a very spiritual person, and a lot of the times I get put through certain lessons to talk about for my podcast, right? And that's what I think, because I have been through so much, and I continue to go through so much, and I feel like I can relate to a lot of the world, and share my perspective, but also hear others and learn from that, and vice versa. Which I feel like another reason why it's so important to be intentional and not force my content. Now, I do think it is different when you are, like, let's say, a bigger creator, right? I'll be there soon, y'all. I'll be there soon. When you are a bigger creator, and let's say you have, because I remember watching someone and they were like, oh yeah, I have like 20 brand deals going on right now, so I have to post scheduled content. Now, I think that is separate from your normal everyday content, because now posting something with a brand, that has to be scheduled, right? Because you have to work with this brand. You have to work in like dates, different times. That's different. And I don't think that per se is forced and fake and unauthentic. I don't agree with that, right? But I do think if you're doing your own work and you don't feel drawn to talk about it, or you don't want to, and you just feel like you're forcing yourself to get up, that energy is felt through the screen. Like I said, I can feel when something's forced. Not all the time. Not all the time, but a lot of the times I can, and it just doesn't feel right for me to do it in my practice, just because I love my podcast so much, and I think it's already fucking huge. Do you know how many countries I am listened to in, y'all? 500. I am listened to in over 500 countries, y'all. That makes me shit myself every single time I see it. Every time I go to look at my analytics, I'm like, oh my god, you guys are everywhere, and I love you so much. And I would hate to give you guys information that feels fake, that feels unauthentic, that doesn't feel like me, because it's my podcast. Now, granted, my podcast is a business. I need to run it like a business, and I do, but I run it very strategically. And now, I don't know if anybody else, I've never seen anybody else that I have watched or seen content-wise approach it like this. And now, in the future, I hope this doesn't affect me negatively in a way. I don't think anything will, if I'm being honest, because when you work from the heart, you get blessed, okay? But I think it is a new approach, because I've never seen it. I've never seen anybody say, hey, I'm just going to post authentically, but I'm not going to give it up in the process. I'm going to continue to stay true to myself and learn, because every single day, first of all, we already know kind of the situation I've been in these past couple. Yeah. So we know the situation I've been in this past, couple months. So I think it is even bigger to me now to stay true to myself, but also never give up, because I have seen, like, a lot of the times in the struggle, a lot of people give up on their dreams, right? I won't, but instead I'm going to share them with you. Now, that part I was hard on myself at first about it, because I was like, okay, well, how much information do I want to share with the world, you know? And I still haven't shared a lot of it, a lot of the rest of my life and everything that has happened and everything I've been through and learned and, you know, went through. And we'll get there. We'll get there, okay? Because it is a learning process. It is extremely vulnerable to do, because it's like when I have thousands and thousands and thousands of people listening to me, it's kind of nerve-wracking. It is, because it's like, damn, I'm telling these people the deepest, darkest parts of myself. It's scary. It is extremely scary, and it's hard to show up consistently. But you must, right? And I think that's why it is even more true, like, better to stay intentional while you do it. If you hear my dog in the background, please don't mind him, okay? But I think that's why it is even more important to stay true and intentional to your work, because your message could impact people more than you think. Now, I do have people text me all the time and just tell me how much they love my podcast and how much it helps them. And that means so much to me. Like, y'all don't even, I'm not gonna get fucking emotional, okay? But y'all don't know how much that means to me. As someone who felt like she wasn't seen her entire fucking life, to finally get to a point where it's like, but yes, it is, you know what, y'all? I'm out of breath, y'all. I just had to run down something downstairs. I tried to come back in like everything was fucking normal, but it's not. I'm out of breath. And I forgot what the fuck I was talking about. But yes, I love my podcast with every fiber in me, okay? So I want to make sure I'm giving you guys the best content, which is why I post when I feel drawn to talk about it. Because I think at the same time, not to get all woo-ha, I feel like my podcast is a huge lesson for me, right? But also, it's a big educational opportunity. And honestly, I don't know if I want to do this on like a Patreon or something, but I want to start hitting the spiritual side of my life, because it plays such a heavy role in my life. And I know not everybody's into that, right? So that's why I was like, I don't know if I should do it on Patreon or not, because I had the coolest experience recently. Like, first of all, I'm a death doula and a normal doula. Bitch, it is so fucking cool spiritually. I would love to talk about that. And I would love to talk about so much more. So y'all just let me know what you want to hear, or if I should make it like a Patreon exclusive type of thing where I do like weekly spiritual episodes and talk about all that shit and all that stuff. But yeah, this episode was a short one, but I feel like a very important one that I wanted to sit down and talk to you guys about, because I wanted you guys to see a little bit of me and how I operate and how I function and why I do what I do for you guys. And I can't wait to see us get even bigger. And like, I just know the growth I've already had is insane, and I know it's gonna get even bigger. Like, this podcast is fucking huge, bigger than I can even imagine. And I love you guys so much, and you guys bring me joy and peace every single day. And just know, like we always say, growth is not linear, but it is beautiful. And you know, one day I'll be 30 sitting on this podcast. God damn. That's okay. 30, flirty, and thriving. One day I'll be 30 sitting behind this podcast, and then we'll be able to reflect how much we have grown as a team and a collective. Also, let me know if you guys would like me to open a Patreon period. I have one up, but I opened it a very, very long time ago. We could do like where you guys come through, and we could have like girl talks where I invite you guys in to talk, and you know, other people comment and stuff like that. So just really DM me, let me know if y'all would be down for this. Follow Did I Overshare on Instagram, because that's really where I post. Also, my main page, ZOEEXCE, on TikTok and Instagram. Everything is in the show notes down below, so you can find it all. And of course, this video is on YouTube. I love you guys so much, and I really hope you enjoyed this quick episode. I think my next one will probably be about what I have learned in 2025, because it has been a year, bitch. Been a fucking year, right? And you know, hating ass bitches still. I hope you like this video. I hope you like it. I hope you like it, girl. But life is great, life is beautiful, and I'm so happy to be sharing it with you guys and growing and learning and loving. I also need, one of my big episodes gonna come out. It's probably gonna be very long. It's gonna be an episode on control, which has been very spiritual for me, but also very impactful on my everyday life. I want to do an episode on control and how you truly are in no control in your life, and you really have to learn that. So I'm gonna have that one coming up soon. I really don't know the order those are gonna be in, but they've been little things I've been working on inside. Like, if you guys see my notes, they're full. When I get ideas, I just jot them fucking down, and my thing is full of them. So it's never that I don't have the ideas. I always have the ideas. It's whether I feel motivated to talk about it. Like, do I feel like I'm in the right spot to talk about this? Because I feel like if I'm uneducated about it, or don't know where I'm sitting at spiritually or personally, I can't spread the word. So yeah, but I love you guys so much. Please be sure to leave a 5-star rating and review. I have 1 review so far. Let's get it to 2, 3, or 4, or even more. And I love you guys so much, and I hope you have an amazing December and a merry motherfucking Christmas. Okay, I love you guys so much.